So, I'm making this video because basically I needed someone to talk to at, I don't know, talk to that has a clue of what I'm going through. It's middle of the night. I should be getting ready for bed, which I did. I have a very strict sleep hygiene routine. You all know that. And I had been kind of bordering on the edge of irritable for a few days. And the last straw. And I don't even think this has, I don't know. The trigger's real and, enough to piss anybody off. But, I don't, maybe my response to it was my usual mixed episode tantrum. Tried to break the hell out of a mouse and computer mouse. Just so frustrated. I'm telling you. First of all, I have this nice laptop, but for some reason, for me, it's a piece of shit. And I have a Nintendo Switch because I wanted to play Diablo on it. And I try other games that I want to play on it. Witcher and Skyrim, and I can't figure that shit out. So I'm like, one game. I keep buying them, hoping I'll come across a game that I can get my freaking fingers to coordinate. So there's number 2 electronic shit. I can't get, for some reason, my Joy-Cons aren't charging properly, and because of my hands, the tremor and stuff, they're hard to hold. And I bought these things that were supposed to make it easier to grip, and it was made out of hard plastic. It didn't make it easier to grip at all. And then I have a printer that worked fine, but it just got to be so old that the software was just no longer supported, and I couldn't scan on it, and I thought it was time I moved up to a new one. And so I got one like my mom's, which is like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or something, I don't know. And she was trying hard to set it up too. We can't figure it out. And she's pretty good at that stuff. And so now I have 2 printers sitting here, and I can only copy. I cannot print shit out from my laptop. And I don't know which shitty thing is the problem. And, and this is like work-related things I need to print out. So I have to go downstairs to my mom's computer, which is ancient, and she has this like really stupid mouse. I'm going to start taking my baby portable mouse. This thing has this giant ass roller ball to move the icon around, the cursor around, and I can't. She used to use it when she did data entry, and she was on the computer a lot. And I'm like, why don't you have a normal mouse now? Anyway, it's stupid. And so this was, And then I was having all of a sudden, isn't it just so interesting to me why how you'll be going along and everything's going fine with your stupid little electronic whatever it is, and then all of a sudden it goes haywire and won't work. And the reason, the usual typical reason it does something like that is because it updated and it corrupted your shit. And so now, oh, and I'm like, um, sick of it. I want a device that doesn't update. I want a device that stays exactly how I get it. Personalization is very important to me. I make I like to have what I pick. The picture that is the lock screen, that is the home screen. Um, I like to put the colors I like, and you know, and just like suddenly out of the blue, my uh, the app I use for my text messages started. Um, I would get text messages a day late. I mean, it was something was going on, and I thought, well, I'll just like get rid of it. I'll uninstall it and reinstall it. But when I went to reinstall it, it only had like a they had done something like upgraded, and not upgraded, but I don't know, upgraded, but so that they cut out something that I use a lot. Um, and their rating was only a 3.6 now. Um, so I went back to the devices regular text, and I can't schedule text with it, and and I can't personalize it very much. And it was so hard to figure this out. It took me days. I was in, and it's bad for business when, in this day and age when messaging and texting is, everything is all about that. Instagram, Facebook. I'm just sick of this world. There's nothing there. There's like this freaking little screen that screens, you know? I either want to be alone or actually around a person when I'm talking to them, but, you know, so depersonalized and everything. Anyway, I digress. So I had this pent up anger going on, and today I hit my limit. I can't tell you how long I've had this tablet. It's just been a long time. And um hadn't had a problem with it ever. And I have my very set routine is at 10 o'clock we give the dogs their meds and it's bedtime for everybody. I take a bath, a hot bath, because it helps with your body going into sleep mode. While my service dog eats an ice cube in the bathroom with me, and I put on nice comfortable pajamas, and I put my hair in a barrette. I have to wet my hair or I feel crunchy and crusty when I go to bed. But that also means I can't jump out of bed and just go somewhere. um, okay, and y'all, and I'm thinking this night's sleep's really important because tomorrow I have a consult on a dog that has they think it has separation anxiety. I haven't seen the video yet, but it's gonna be there a couple hours and have to possibly listen to someone who thinks they know what they're talking about and convince them that I know what I'm talking about. And I find the consult ones for behavior problems more stressful than the basic uh, dog training. I don't mind dealing with jumping, door dashing, things like that. But when it gets more complex, I'm like, well, it's gonna have to be a consult for us to look at the whole picture right there. And I wanted to update. I wanted to update, or I had to. I had to update my separation anxiety because there are some new things uh, that can be done. And so I get that ready, and it took me days. And so I go to print it out, and on my screen, for some reason, the font, even though I had it high, looked really small. So I made it bigger. And because I don't have a printer, I had to go downstairs, put it on a flash drive or thumb drive, go downstairs. Don't worry, I'm getting to the tantrum. And so I go to do this, and I get it in there, I open it up, and first it shows me that the letters are absolutely huge and need to be um, smaller. So I'm going to have to, I tried to do it on her computer right there that's attached to the printer. And I guess she doesn't have Word, Microsoft Word, or I don't know what the deal is, but it wouldn't let me, it would only do read only unless you have an account or something. And so I'm like, okay, it's late. I'm going to take my bath and take care of this with my mom tomorrow before I go because it's her computer. So but I've done other stuff. I've done that way too with other documents. So what I do is while I'm taking my bath and stuff, I have my tablet hanging on a thing um, over there, and I play my show that I'm watching, and I watch the show, and then while I drink my drink, not alcoholic drink, just lemonade or something, and then I go to bed, and finish that episode, and maybe watch some YouTube videos, and then I'll read or some other thing to help me sleep, listen to music, get the right kind. So, and before all of this, I was having a problem with my iTunes, but I managed to figure my iPod, but I was managed to figure that out. 2 iPods. It was horrible. And then, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let this go and deal with it tomorrow. And so I turn on, and what I'm expecting, what has been working for me for years, and the damn thing won't play, and it keeps saying Google Play services keep stopping. And then you have an option of close app or um, send feedback. And it wouldn't let me watch anything. I watch Amazon Prime stuff, HBO Max stuff, Netflix stuff, YouTube stuff. I couldn't watch anything. So, and it just kept popping up no matter what I did. And I was getting really riled up. I was going to take this bath fast and go up and see if there's a fix. And on my phone, I'm like, type in what's going on, and it says that what happens when that happens in 2022 is that there's a corrupt update, that it updated on its own, corruptness spread, and you're gonna have to um, go make it go back to factory setting, and you're gonna lose your data. And I lost it. I mean, I'd already been attacking my mom's stupid mouse, and so I was like throwing the flash drive around. I slammed my bedroom door so hard I felt the other side of it go. I felt it go to the other side. I left all the lights on purpose because I know it pisses my mom off. I don't. It's just weird because I'm very conscious of turning lights out because of how much it costs, utilities, and I there's no logic in that. It's just that I have no one to take it out on, and so instead of what I usually do is like barge in a room and just have a blowout, and which is not very nice. But sometimes it's uncontrollable. But this time, what I did is I was upstairs in my room and I texted her and kind of vented a little bit, and she said, "Just watch your show and leave the shit for another day." And I'm like, but if I want to watch my show, I have to watch it on the TV and not my tablet. When I watch it on my tablet, I'm all cozy, and it's like the process of going down, down, down to sleep. And and if I watch it on TV, it's gonna be loud. She's gonna hear it, and um and I'm like crying because I hate electric. I was happier in. There was a big part of me that was much happier in 1995 when like chat rooms were, you had to be online, you had to be on the phone line, and chat lines were about it. There were no profile pics. You had an avatar, and you had rooms, and stuff like that. And it was so primitive then. And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't do, like DOS. I had to get someone to help me so I could play games. But um, going even before that, when I was in nursing school in the early 90s, I lived in a dorm room and I had a black and white TV. And they only got computers just as I was about graduating. I think I had to spend a little time, clock in some time uh, on the computers, but everything we did was handwritten. So I didn't have any of this stuff where you have to find someone that knows how to fix it, go back to factory settings, get online and have some other person controlling your computer. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. But the only way that the internet is useful for me is to find out and and to just find out and discover that I'm not the only one dealing with certain things. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I could do without it. As long as I have my music stuff going, um, but I mean, I have records. I have a turntable. Heck, a radio. We have radios still. Um, I don't like the music on them, but anyway, I'm about to see if my information is still on this thing, but it's not going to do me any good because I can't print it. I don't understand. I'm just so confused. Anyway, I still plan on doing a video about medication and people who get better without it because I do have an opinion on that. And I'm saying that because I'm about to say something else, and it is um, I have Xanax prescribed specifically for events, to take during the day, one as needed to help with situations like this, so that I do not become as destructive as I can be. I don't hurt people as hard as I could without it. So I did take it. And I'm still irritated. I'm still irritable. I'm just don't feel the energy to act on it right now. But it's like I just need this. I work so hard for days to get this just right. And I just don't understand. And I know that companies do stuff to their products to force you to have to update. Um, or update without letting you asking permission, or you know and tell you this might crash you know your stuff. um those simpler days of going to the library and going through the card catalog, I miss that. I miss the library, period. And I even went for a walk today and had two no one really good training. Everything was going fine, and then boom, out of control. And And a lot of people who meet me or think they know me don't believe how big I can have, an outburst I can have. Um, and uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's physically uncomfortable as well. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the tension is like, ugh, it's like a bottle of champagne and you pop the top and it just, and that's what it's like. That, I don't know. A balloon just before it bursts. It's like getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then pop. It happens so fast. That line, that tiny line. And then, anyone who does get a taste might just think you're a big asshole, which maybe you are, but um, I just can't say enough that I just don't think people understand how that feels and how it feels to know you're going to behave in a certain way and have no control over it. And that all happens in a split second. So I'm feeling a little mellowed out. I'm going to try to make the font on this smaller so that tomorrow morning all I have to worry about is printing it out. I have to have it, ready for my appointment. And I have one before that. It's going to be a late appointment, 5:30. So, going to kind of suck. But I get paid for it, so um I guess that's all I have to say for now. If you don't get irritability or anger outbursts, mixed episodes, count yourself very, very, very lucky. Good night.